The Self-Publishing Advice Conference, SelfPubCon 2025, brings indie authors from around the world together for 2 days of insight, inspiration, and connection. It's live online October 18 and 19 and free to attend. Get early access to our international competition and all the latest conference updates at selfpublishingadvice.org/conference-2025. Welcome to Self-Publishing with ALLi, proudly sponsored by PublishMe, helping indie authors succeed globally with expert translation, tailored marketing, and publishing support. From first draft to international launch, PublishMe ensures your book reaches readers everywhere. Visit publishme.me. And now, here's your host for Self-Publishing with ALLi, Dan Holloway.
Hello and welcome to another week's self-publishing news, recorded very early in the morning here in Oxford as the only way to avoid the delights of the fair which has taken to town this week and causes disruption every single week and noise till 11 at night, so apologies. It is also being recorded early in the morning because there is a lot of breaking news coming from the other side of the Atlantic from me here. I had thought that I'd be bringing you breaking news about the Anthropic settlement. It seems that the news has broken even further overnight as I prepared to record. So, where do we stand? As you know, the two parties in the case of copyright infringement brought against Anthropic had filed a settlement that they had agreed on together. It has emerged, and this is the first bit of breaking news, it has emerged that the amount in the settlement was $3,000 per title. It has also emerged that it is expected or thought that there will be 500,000 books eligible for that, making a total payout of $1.5 billion. There were very, very mixed reactions to this. So the CEO of the Authors Guild thought this was a fantastic result for writers. Mark Williams thought that this might be a really, really dangerous agreement. The rationale that he uses is one that makes a lot of sense, which is that if you do not have your day in court, then there is no challenge to the fair use ruling. And that means that in future, the only thing that tech companies need to do is to avoid downloading pirated copies of your books. So all they would have to do is buy an ebook and then they can use it however they want. And so you would make a royalty from the retail price. There would be a risk that the licensing rights for AI would collapse. However, this settlement had to be agreed upon by a judge. The judge considered it on Monday, and the judge Alsop, the original judge in the case, has rejected the settlement. So that is the shock-breaking news. It doesn't mean that this is the end of the story. It doesn't mean that authors won't get $3,000. It is still likely that if there is a settlement, I think that will be the amount. But he has rejected the settlement as it stands. Interesting, the language that he used. So, quoting, this is from the Bloomberg press release as quoted by Engadget, which is a fabulous tech publication. So, he was worried that the deal would be, quote, forced, quote, down throat of authors. And he also thought the deal was, quote, nowhere close to complete, and was, quote, disappointed that counsel have left important questions to be answered in the future. So in particular, there isn't a complete class yet. So you remember you were rushing to fill out a form saying that you thought you wanted to register to be in the class if you felt you were eligible. Well, it seems that was all done in too rushed a fashion. There isn't a complete class being brought yet, and the judge wants to make sure that authors don't miss their chance. Really interesting that. So he wants to make sure there is a clear process for notifying members of the class, and he wants to make sure there is a claim form to use if you want to get your part of the settlement, and he wants to make sure that, what else do we have here? Yes, he wants to make sure that authors can opt in or opt out. So the court have asked to see the claim form in advance, basically. and he wants to see what the state of the list, the class members list, and the claim form are on October the 10th. So we will have more news for you on October the 10th. I don't think this means that you now have to register before October the 10th if you want to be part of the claim. I will update you if that turns out to be untrue, but I think that we will have more news on what you need to do on October the 10th. So there we are. Much breaking news. That is where we stand at the moment. A much more calm piece of news, something that will be of interest to you all. We are talking about author income. Obviously, $3,000 was thought to be part of the author income coming up for many of you. It still may be, but more generally on author income, the ALLi author income survey has dropped, and there will be a link in the description where you can go and take part, because we don't know what the state of play with author income is without your participation. It will be, of course, done anonymously. It will enable ALLi's advocacy and industry influence to continue. The more concrete data we have, the better we can negotiate, because the more we can come from a position of knowledge and what the actual situation is, and not the situation as it is rumoured to be. And we can also enable authors to see what people who are earning more and people who are earning less and everyone in between is doing in order to earn that income. What are the business models? What are the formats? What strategies are paying off for indies? You have until September the 17th to take part in this. So do make sure you go over and participate in the indie author income survey. And a reminder that you must, to take part, have independently published at least one book in English, and you must spend at least half your time or make half your income from activities related to writing and publishing. And these can include things that are writing adjacent, like editing and offering other publishing services. So do please take part. It is an essential part of providing the background for what we do. And on a final note on author income, 12 lucky authors have been the recipients of $50,000 this year in their author income, which is what I'm hoping will be the first, but is certainly for now the only recipients of James Patterson awards. And James Patterson has given $50,000 to 12 people too, in the name of the award. Go finish your book. So that is an well done to all of those authors. And I hope to report on many ALLi authors earning a similar figure when we look at the results of the Indie Author Income Survey. So thank you very much. I'm sure there will be more and possibly less fraught and less breaking news next week. I will speak to you then.
You've been listening to Self-Publishing with ALLi, proudly sponsored by PublishMe, helping indie authors succeed globally with expert translation, tailored marketing, and publishing support. From first draft to international launch, PublishMe ensures your book reaches readers everywhere. Visit publishme.me. And if you haven't already, we invite you to join our association and become a self-publishing ally. You could do that at allianceindependentauthors.org.